What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You, and you're now tuned into my review of Iron Man 3.
You elected me on a single platform. I will defend this country at all costs. The Mandarin must be stopped.
You don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
What are you going to do about these attacks?
The whole world's gonna be watching.
The question, where is Tony Stark?
Things are different now. I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you.
So the film picks up in 1999, and we get introduced to Tony Stark and Maya Hansen. And Maya Hansen is the inventor of the Extremis Project. And if you don't know what the Extremis Project is, it's basically a project where you can regenerate your limbs, your arms and your legs if they get cut off or, have damage applied to them. So when Tony and Maya are about to get into the elevator to go to her room, another person gets on the elevator, and he's a scientist. His name is Aldrich Killian. And Killian is a big fan of Tony Stark's work. So as he's trying to talk to Tony, Tony's just brushing him off. So when they get to Maya's floor, Aldrich is like, yeah, you know what? I just want to show you this. And Tony's like, hey, you know what? Meet me up on the roof in a few minutes. Let me just finish getting my... And, we'll talk business. He doesn't show up. And this is what causes Aldrich Killian to basically hate Tony Stark and want to kill him and destroy everything that he loves. So we speed forward into present day time, and Tony is having panic attacks because he experienced God's aliens going through wormholes and stuff, and basically he can't handle that. His mind is just crashing. So he's not getting he's not getting enough sleep. He's staying up. His relationship with Pepper is getting kind of tainted a bit. And this new terrorist comes out of nowhere, and the new terrorist name is Mandarin. And, this guy is just killing people and pissing the government off. And Tony is just playing the backhand. He's playing the backfield for right now. He's not really stepping forward. So it isn't until something happens to one of Tony's associates that Tony decides, hey, you know what? Now you hit a little too close to home. I'm coming after you, and I'm calling you out. Boom. So the acting in this film is very great. I really don't have to say anything about that. There was nobody who that had any poor acting or whatnot. There was anything wrong with that. The visuals, I have to say, there weren't really that many scenes that really opened up the visuals at all, except for the last scene at the end. And this isn't really spoiling anything because you've seen it in the trailer or the commercials, but the scene where all of the suits come to the battlefield, that was the main scene where I could say that the visuals are really open up and you were like, oh, that's hot. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's pretty damn amazing. But besides that, nothing really. What I liked about this film is that they show that Tony can get hurt. We always see him as Iron Man. You see him taking shots, fighting aliens, talking to gods, going toe-to-toe with gods. And, he gets back up. But his human side, when that armor is off, a lot does get to Tony. It puts a strain on his psyche. Like, all this stuff with the Avengers, like I said, talking to gods, fighting aliens, going through wormholes. You see that it affects him in this film. He's not getting enough sleep. He's having panic attacks. It's just putting a lot of strain on his mind, man, and he's getting affected by that. Another thing that I liked about this film is that it showed that Tony really is a genius. In the first film, we got to see him build the Iron Man suit from scraps. In the second film, we didn't really get to see Tony use his brain power. In this film, we got to see him put together something. I'm not going to really go into details yet, but we really got to see him put together something similar to the Iron Man suit and use it on these people. So that was really cool to see, man. I was like, all right, well, I'm glad that they're showing that, even though he is Iron Man, his real weapon, even without being in the suit, is his brain. Dude is a freaking genius, man. You can't even deny that. So there are a lot of things that I didn't like about this film. One, let me just get this out the way. The Mandarin. Two, Aldrich Killian didn't come off as a believable villain for me. Like, at first, I would have preferred for him to be playing the background, and having the Mandarin be up front saying, I'm the Mandarin, you come up with the ideas and I'll do what I have to do. But it wasn't like that. At first it was, but then later on it wasn't like that. It was just Aldrich Killian was this mastermind. The third thing would be that it focused on Tony Stark out of his suit for too long. And it felt like The Dark Knight Rises where you had Bruce Wayne out of the Batman suit, and it was just like, all right, we know who Bruce Wayne is. We need to see, that Bruce Wayne can get hurt, and yeah, here we need to see that Tony Stark is also a human, and he feels, and he does have his vulnerable points, but like an hour and 50 minutes of Tony Stark's is just no. Like again, it felt like 80% of the film or 85% of the film was just Tony Stark, and the rest was just Iron Man. And the parts that we did give an Iron Man were like 5 to 10 minutes long, so it really wasn't that enjoyable. The next thing I have to talk about is that there were just way too many villains involved in this plot. Like, too many people had their hands in the cookie jar, and it was just, wow. Like, why don't you just leave it with the Mandarin and just Aldrich Killian as well? But no, it was like 6 people involved with messing up Tony Stark's life and just doing a bunch of crazy things. It was just too crooked. Like, too many hands were in the cookie jars. It just didn't work for me throughout a certain point in the film. And another thing, oh my goodness. Again, I'll touch on this later, but I'm going to just say the plot twist was no. The ending of the film was just no, you don't do that shit. Oh, yeah. So those are my dislikes. So overall, this was an okay film. I did enjoy it for what it was worth, but I just felt like the dislikes outweighed my likes for this film. At the end of the day, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 stars. At the end of the day, it just had too many problems with it, So I understand that people are going to disagree. They're going to say, "What? 2 out of 5? Come on, really?" But again, it just had too many hands in the cookie jars and too many problems. Especially the plot twist just was unnecessary and pointless. So I'm gonna hit you guys up with the spoilers in a different video, so that way I don't make this video like 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes long. All right, so this is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I'll see you guys later. And the plot twist, I promise you, you'll never see it coming. I just had to. I'm sorry, man. I had to. Woo! See you guys later.